Hey, baby.
Welcome, adventurers from this plane and beyond, to Camaraderie and Shenanigans.
Hi.
As you may have noticed, starting out at the very top of today, we have two wonderful individuals back in their respective seats. Welcome back,
It's more
Lauren. I'm
exciting
glad your
than
tummy's feeling better. And welcome back, Daniel.
That's personal information.
I'm sorry. I said it last episode.
I take it from the top.
She's been shitting all day.
Sorry,
We're just gonna censor that part out.
Sorry, your tummy's feeling better. Cut.
The worst diarrhea.
Sorry, you're beep, beep, beep.
We're off to a great start.
We do all this live.
Yeah.
Also, Daniel, whatever.
We're very glad to have both of you back.
Back and oranger than ever.
Very
We
happy to be
cannot
back.
wait to get into this.
I'm actually
with the
wearing
full cast.
orange because apparently this week is it's like heart defect awareness, which
Oh,
CHD
okay.
awareness or something like that.
Okay.
The color is
Wow.
orange.
This
Some-
week that we're shooting or the week that we're airing?
This week right now, like in the present
Right
time
this
that we're
moment.
shooting.
In the present
So last
time.
week, for those that are watching this.
Fun puzzle for
Yeah.
everyone at home. Figure out when we're filming this.
Last week. You just, anyways.
I don't know.
He said that only to throw them off.
Yeah.
A month from now. A month ago. I don't know.
Anyways, I believe that is all the announcements we have at the moment.
Nobody's looking at me. I don't know anything.
No, you're the CEO.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
Why did you give that information out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Didn't
Everyone
know we were.
So many
That private
secrets
of a company.
revealed today.
Dude,
haven't even
Tell them nothing.
tonight's
Give them
episode
nothing.
is all about lore drops.
And shenanigans.
Yeah! On that note,
Shenanigans.
sit back, relax, grab a snack, and get ready for camaraderie
And
shenanigans!
I control the button now. I determine when there's shenanigans.
I'm the DM now!
Shenanigans
I-
start now.
A second
That
stream
level
deck
of energy.
and just unplug his and
Every
have
day.
one over here.
I didn't realize 5th level was Daniel's master plan. moment.
I'm fine.
Anyways.
Bringing us back into the previous episode. You had all officially escaped from Voxstrom.
Fuck that place.
On the back of a dragon.
On the back of a
Steinborn.
white,
Yeehaw.
adult, modified dragon, you all soared through the sky before the dragon began to act strangely. Runic glyphs appearing above its head, crashing into the forest canopy below. It shook you all off, and something was muddling its mind. Through some laborsome dispel magics, the second one finally going through, releasing what magical hold was placed over this dragon. He thanked you, said he would try not to eat you if he ever encountered you again, and flied off into the distance.
Bye-bye, Bellicrans.
Bella.
Balacrats.
Bow, crap.
And
Bow.
Kyle has never gets
Male
wrong.
Come on, Bella, Loca.
Doesn't
Bella.
matter.
Bella?
Finding a moment of respite, attention turns to some who are lost. Though in this moment, it was time for questions to be answered. Wolfgang, pulling Daggledoria to the side, talked of his grandfather and the connection that she had with him, revealing that not all stories were as they were told. Hidden truths and messages within them, and a reality striking an already weakened paladin.
Who was the old man in my bedroom then? It wasn't my grandfather.
What a question.
Pretty sure we've all asked that question.
And
Are you okay?
Daniel, I'm so glad you're back. So glad I'm not the only one having these responses.
I'll say them for you because
Thank
I know
you.
you can't.
I appreciate it. Moving on. Daggledoria apologized for the way that this had to be revealed to Wolfgang. Returning back to the group, Daggledoria found some time with Nesta, where it was learned of the old, long, almost forgotten pact between the Aravalane, an ancient group of Druids who studied the stars, and the Prisms of Lunaris. Their joint efforts during the war, some 4,000 years ago, and the state that it was left in, who knows how long ago. Nessa, having a bit of a clearer understanding of what might be asked of her in this moment, Dagaldoria could no longer sustain her own life, being detached from the machine that she had been plugged up to for so many decades. She inevitably passed. In the morning, a moment was held with Olwell, as Nesta found what closure she could through a Speak with Dead spell. Pyres were built and bodies were burned. And the journey continued forward. Trekking their way through the outer skirts of the Farragost forest, you all trekked your way, eventually finding your path to the Shimmering Curtain, noticing that the drop was far too extensive for some in the party to maybe bear, and the water seemed particularly treacherous to cross at this time. You decided to head south towards the Stairway of Niffle, before Kylos noticed, stumbling across an individual who was hiding nearby, a human woman by the name of Nilana, and her medium-sized, I was wrong, medium-sized green dragon Bristol.
Occupies a
size?
5-foot
So,
cube.
Yeah.
not clinging to her leg.
Not clinging to her leg, no. Well, clinging to her leg, but she's got strong legs.
So is it like a cow size?
It's got thick
No,
thighs.
that's pretty large. I would say,
Great Dane size?
yeah, closer to the size of a Great Dane.
Which is the size of a cow. So.
Mhm.
No, they're not.
You have not seen a lot of
Yeah,
cows.
that's an amazing
Or Great
cow.
Danes, I don't know which.
Baby
Both.
cow, little cow.
Baby cow.
20 Chronicles, known for accurate science.
baby. Nilana essentially stating that she meant no ill will. She was simply passing by, hunting nearby, and noticing, or actually being revealed to, that Nessa was in fact a cleric, capable of healing. She expressed that she had an injured ally nearby and was wondering if you could potentially help, leading you all back to the open mouth cave entrance. We come back into the moment of a relatively small, purple-skinned, slightly balding, a bit of hair around the side extending to the back, and slight mutton chops beginning to form. Another deep gnome, which Frognand you immediately recognize. They are currently off maybe 120 feet ahead of you, laying at the mouth of the cave, kind of leaning back, eyes closed, foot is elevated onto a bit of a mossy rock. And they, hands over stomach, laying there.
Yeah, if he's 120 feet, I'll say it takes me about 12 seconds.
11.5 in your new cloak.
Until I'm right by his side. But how? Hey, what?
Son?
Dad?
Fucking my boy!
Oh.
And he grabs you
Aw.
and brings you in for a close hug, knocking you off balance, pulling your full weight onto him.
Yeah, I allow it for a second, and then I kind of push off. What's happening?
Nilana, what are you doing here?
But I could ask you the same question.
That is quite the story to go into. Let's sit. Let's acclimate ourselves. Please, join me here.
I just stand there, staring at him.
Wolfgang's gonna kind of sidle up to Frognan at this point and kind of like look down. Everything okay?
He begins to stand up
I think so.
a bit awkwardly, putting very little weight on his right foot.
Guys, this is, Dobladan. This is my dad.
It is a pleasure to meet you all.
I just stand there,
Wolfgang kind of just.
arms crossed.
I thought that your family was back in Hovel.
Yeah, they are in Hovel.
Well, you were both close.
Yeah.
It's a Hovel Hollow, I believe. It's a pleasure to meet you, but this is a rather curious circumstance.
He's just locked.
Yeah, me too. Just awkward silence as far as the eye can see.
So what brings you to the surface?
Well, I have been here for quite some time. And Nalana, let's make some tea. How about? All right, I'll see what herbs I can gather. She heads off. He begins to sit back down a little awkwardly,
Ooh,
resting his leg and placing it back upon the rock.
what happened here? Is this something I can help with?
Cleric of Lunaris, aren't you?
That's right, yes.
I'm familiar with the iconography. I don't know. Nalana is capable when it comes to healing, but she doesn't follow the path of a goddess, that's for certain. You're more than welcome to look. It's not a pretty sight.
All right. I will look.
He begins to take off his boot.
I cast look.
And what he reveals before you is his right foot starting to shrivel and wilt away, and it is completely black. This is immediately familiar to you. This is the wasting.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Well, as we say in my temple, big yikes.
That's odd. I haven't heard that one before.
Yes,
I know what this is.
I'm not familiar, no.
I kind of look over at Vicky, look back. Yeah, this
Who
is.
is actively stepping outside of the cave, walking backwards.
I've seen this. When did this happen to you?
Probably about 2-3 months ago.
Where were you?
Within this area, I was dealing with a problem.
You were here?
Yes,
Well, that's not good.
you're familiar with this.
Yeah, we call it the wasting. And we were under the impression that it was only in the north. And now that kind of seems like it's not the case.
Well, it's unlike anything I've ever seen, and neither has Nalana, so...
Nesta, you can try. I don't think you're going to be able to do anything here.
I'll give it a go. I have a +7 to medicine, so.
I don't know what that means.
Nor do I. Let's see. Healing hands.
It wouldn't like touch it. Ugh.
I don't believe it's contagious like that.
We sure?
No, I'm not sure.
Is it on the bushes?
The energy
on the
exudes
trees,
outward.
On the wind?
Nothing seems to take hold.
That's rough.
So, this happened a couple months ago?
Yes.
So where the fuck have you been for 23 years?
Oh, it's like that.
Right, well, I'm gonna go get tea.
I think I'll join you.
If you all wouldn't mind, I would like a moment to speak with my son.
Wolfgang,
They can stay.
All right. I don't think I'm in a position to be arguing.
You're not.
Right.
Wait, did you just point at Nesta and him? Should I fuck off?
No, come stay. Whoever wants to.
Frognan, I don't necessarily expect you to understand exactly why I had to leave or what it was that was expected of me. But I would want you to know that leaving your mother and our children was necessary. It was a sacrifice that I was not wanting to make, but had very little choice in.
Oh yeah, this Nalala lady's that much the boss of you, huh?
Hardly. You misconstrue our relationship.
Oh yeah? This looks pretty classic to me. Walk out on one family, start a new one.
Even the professor's gonna look weird at you on that one.
I thought you left!
As he's walking away.
Just an awkward turn. Okay, fine. Go. You have a chance now. What's going on?
Yeah.
Roll a persuasion check.
At disadvantage because Franklin's
13 total.
Penguin's
13.
antagonizing.
I'm very defensive of Frogman. He's like my little brother.
My boy, it is not something that you must be burdened with. It is something that I have taken on.
I touch his shoulder and cast Charm Person.
Which I have advantage on that save.
I know, you fucking deep gnome.
Wisdom save?
Yep.
no. Damn it,
He said
family,
that-
my only
I was
weakness.
like, you said that with a hard R.
19. You kind of...
Silvery bar.
Oh, I wish you would have.
I'm not there.
We got awkward.
You always were the intellectual type.
There's a lot about me that's developed that you don't know, Dad.
You have my gift for the arcane.
I haven't seen any arcane from you.
No, of course you wouldn't have. It's not something I displayed in public.
Well, for someone who's just stumbled back into my life, you're being awfully cryptic.
Stumbled back into your life. I do believe I can't walk currently.
Okay,
I think the rest of you stumbled into my career.
fine.
And I don't appreciate the accusations that are being lofted at me.
Well, I don't appreciate you talking to Frogman like that. This is your baby boy.
He is my son, and I will do anything to keep him safe, including withholding information.
Okay, fine. Withhold all you need. We don't need your information. Let's go, guys.
I'm gonna like mad dog him.
I will not walk away. I'll continue to stand there staring at him.
I'm gonna walk away.
I follow Frogman.
You following them, or you staying with me being an asshole?
Well,
I'm about to be an asshole.
well. I'll stay for a moment just to continue to assess his medical needs. I'm not happy about it.
I appreciate your effort.
Can I do a check on him, medicine-wise?
Sure. Go ahead and roll a medicine check.
Well, 11.
11. Looking him over, it appears to be extending towards his ankle. It's starting in his foot, extending upwards. The bone in his pinky toe is gone. Currently. And as you touch, he does wince intensely in pain.
You touched it.
Wolfgang.
Yeah, medicine checks required. You can't just look at it and be like, the bone's
Okay,
missing.
poke
That
it-
scene in Harry
poke it
Potter
with
where
like a-
Harry doesn't have any bones.
Yeah.
It is less that. There's
Sloppy.
less form to it. It has more muscle atrophy to it. The skin is pulled taut against whatever ligament, bone, muscle is still remaining of this. It is wasting away.
In your experience, has removing...
No.
No.
We don't know. We don't understand why. We've had a lot of experience over the years with this. We have amputated our fair share of appendages. It always comes back. And I'm looking over it. The fuck is his name?
Dobladan.
Double dad.
It is.
Doug Dimmadome.
He's the owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
He suddenly gets a large white hat.
The healing failed. Dimmadarn. Sorry.
That was perfect.
That was good.
Anyways.
Great. So it will grow back, or it will come back in some form.
Yes. And it is, I'm going to go ahead and say, always fatal. Except for looking wherever the fuck Vicky went.
She's gone.
Except for, looking around.
With her stealth check, and none of y'all saw her.
One exception in my experience. And this was a couple months ago?
Mm-hmm.
And it's only up to your ankle?
Yes.
This is going to be painful.
I've endured worse.
No. You probably haven't.
You're a young boy. You don't know what I've endured.
I know what you're going to. Do you have a will? Have you written anything out? Any letters?
I know my occupation keeps me from such.
That's a shame. Because I'm not sure how long you have left, but you kind of have this moment in front of you, and you're kind of just letting it walk away. It's a real shame. Be ashamed to die like that. Anyways, good luck to you. And Wolfgang turns and starts walking away.
That was really good.
Really thought he was going to say something as I walked away, but all right.
Nalana walks back with tea. And kind of watches you walk away, and she's just...
Do I pass her?
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck with him. This is could be very awful. Yeah, I know. Sunshines and rainbows. Let's have a good day.
You've pegged me to a T.
Listen.
She sits down next to you,
Fucking finger guns.
places tea
Every
down,
day.
starts to unpack
Nest of finger
teacups.
guns, Clay.
Bristol kind of hops off and like curls up next to Doubledan.
Oh. It's like a cat, like a big cat.
A very big cat.
Yes. This is beyond my skills, unfortunately.
I appreciate the attempt.
Good luck.
Real quick. Are you close with my son?
I'd like to think so.
How has he been faring?
He's one of the bravest souls I've ever met.
He would be.
Bit of a klepto.
I do think, and I don't mean to intrude, but he's stronger than he looks. I think he could handle whatever you have that's burdening you.
It isn't a matter of strength. It is a matter of not passing down what burdens have been left for me. I would rather give this to a complete stranger than my own son.
I'm gonna walk up behind Nesta and go, I'm a strange old Dumbledore, you wanna tell me about it?
I'm gonna say you're not near this conversation. You've been away for quite some time by this point.
Fine.
That's
Love
put
that.
so perfectly, though.
I'm sorry.
Good double door, Jack.
Well, Would you feel comfortable unburdening with me?
Roll a persuasion check.
At advantage because I scared him so much?
Nope.
He probably wouldn't have told me shit. So.
Nah, he wouldn't tell you nothing.
21.
Mm.
He kind of looks to Nalana for a second. And Nalana looks up while pouring tea. And looks back down. I am one of many guardians. Tasked for some time to guard a vault, holding some of the most dangerous magical items in creation. Should they fall into the wrong hands, the world as we know it would change drastically. In order for me to give up any of this information, my death is required.
I see.
Whoever takes this burden must hold on to it until their death. And there are those who hunt me. Hence giving this to a stranger, not my son.
Really put yourself in a situation,
Well, shit.
didn't you?
Are you a guardian?
She rolled a 21.
Like, really put yourself in a
He
situation.
didn't give this.
This is a great finger guns opportunity.
That sounds terrible.
Good luck, buddy.
Well, good luck with all
I'm
that.
just moonwalk my way out of here.
I'll be on my way. I won't tell anyone.
What? Oh, I'm calling.
Someone's calling me. Wow, that's very heavy. Ah, ha ha, ha ha ha. Mm. Well,
You really must work on your bedside manner.
I am working on it. Thank you. Sorry.
That's a
Okay.
good apology.
Are we back to that?
What a fucking callback!
We've gotten so much better at apologies since you've been gone.
Have you?
No.
Dude, Daniel has a book of just like, I'm gonna mention this, and I'm gonna mention this, and I'm gonna mention this.
And he's like an act of vengeance.
Oh man.
He's ready.
Fucking bird
He's
you.
ready.
Look at all these wonderful bridges. Fire!
Still in summer, baby.
Yeah. So it's my understanding now that this is now my burden? Am I in charge of this?
No,
Okay. I mean, whew.
I wouldn't
I
give this to you.
Oh, wow. Well, I understand.
I'm sorry I've insulted you from a very untimely death.
No, I do appreciate that. Thank you. And I understand why you can't tell Frognand. I still feel like you should. At least tell him what you told me. He would understand. You don't have to unburden yourself with the full thing like, you know, you didn't do it with me. Just give him the gist.
Roll a persuasion check.
Fine.
Another one?
Mm-hmm.
I like the way she goes.
22.
Jeez.
It is not a simply matter of unburdening myself. The burden is mine to bear. And I was prepared for this a long time ago. If anyone were to find out who I was associated with, if anyone were to think that my son should have any information or sway over me, I would divulge everything to keep him safe. 23 years is nothing to me. I have been alive for so much longer than that. And it feels like a lot for him. Trust me, I felt the same way at his age. He's a brilliant mind. But there are blind spots that he refuses to see yet. Because I was the same.
Well, I'm sorry I couldn't convince you. But I think you're still not convincing me.
I'm not trying to.
It's going to be a very wasted opportunity if you don't speak to your son about this.
Let me think on it. I wasn't expecting to see him today.
Well, we can make camp here for the night. But tomorrow morning we're continuing on. You have until then.
Might I ask, where are you all heading?
The Mincer.
Good home. Good town. Good people. I may be able to put you in contact with some friends. Keep you from having to rent a room. Save you some coin.
Oh. Wonderful. Thank you.
I think I need a bit of rest.
All right.
Don't believe I caught your name.
Don't believe I threw it. Nesta.
You do your goddess proud.
Thank you. I try. I hope you'll do your son proud. And I'll leave.
We've been walking away on some fucking high notes.
We're passing the mic and dropping it.
That person just picks it up off the ground awkwardly.
And furthermore,
In this moment, pulling away, I would like to pull the Frognan. Frognan, what are you up to?
So
Where did you go?
we're by the water side, right?
You're close by, yes.
Okay, so I found my way over to the water side.
Sure.
Mage handing up some pebbles and just throwing them in the water dramatically.
Heck yeah.
what emo song is playing in your head right now?
I don't know,
I'm
something
just
like
a
My Chemical
kid,
Romance or
and
something.
right
You know, like,
Do you know me again?
Yeah. Or like something by Stained, maybe.
Ooh,
or,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
What's
There you
that
go.
one, what's that one that's like, do you ever feel fucking down? Please.
Anyways.
Anyway.
If he's doing, I'm just gonna be sharpening a dagger nearby.
Yeah.
Or just kind of like with my foot up, maybe on like the side of a cliff or wherever we are, like side of the cave,
Sure.
near where he is. Just
You
kind of
guys
like
are
keeping an eye.
You're
on
further
it.
off, closer to the water side at this point.
Yeah, but letting him, have his emo moment.
I'm looking for tea.
Go ahead and roll me a survival check. We're gonna see what mushrooms he finds.
DM, I have a question.
Yes.
When was it that I noticed or became aware of the celestial body that went through the sky and landed in the Serpentine Mountains?
Became aware of it in terms of
Like,
when was the
I-
information given to
yeah,
you?
or like, was it something that like happened in real time that I knew about, or was it something that I heard of after?
It was heard of after.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did that initially happen?
Initially happened. It was documented that it was seen during the Everlost War.
During the Everlost War. Okay.
Closer towards the beginning. So sometime around or after the city of Everlost was summoned from the abyss.
And that's not near here, right?
No.
Okay.
No. That's back on Lathia.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. At a point, I'll talk to Wolfgang, but if other people are doing other stuff first.
Sure.
Yeah, and I mean, after I exhaust my arms,
Your magic
my
arms.
mage arms, then I think I'll just you're chilling with me. Yeah, I'll just watch you sharpening your knives. Just kind of slump down next to her.
I'll just say, how you doing, Frogman?
It's fucking stupid. I mean, he doesn't want to burden me with things. He doesn't know how much he burdened the family already.
Maybe you just give it some time. Try again later.
I guess.
Look, you're gonna get something out of that guy. Whether it's an apology, information, whatever.
He left so suddenly, you know? And I get it, I was young, I was a kid, but I thought I was worthy of some sort of anything, right?
Well, what was your relationship like before he left?
I don't know. He's the guy that works. He's the guy that, I mean, he's the protector of Hobble Hollow, right? I mean, you met my mom, right?
Yeah.
You saw
he
how
was
tough
good.
she was.
Yeah.
She didn't always have to be so tough. You know, they used to share responsibilities.
Did your mom ever talk about him leaving?
No. She kind of moved on like nothing happened.
It's a real shame.
Whatever. I have her, right?
Yeah. You got us.
I got you.
I'm sorry, Frogman. She puts her hand on his shoulder.
Thanks.
I'll punch him in the face if you want.
Can I try first?
Absolutely.
And then if I can't punch him, then you go.
You got it.
Cool. That's all there. And then I'm just, yeah.
Okay.
Angsting.
What you get?
Natural one.
Tripping balls in the forest.
Wait, what are you doing in
Some
the forest?
mushrooms.
I was trying to get tea.
You end up
In the
fucking-
forest?
I thought like tea was like dried herbs. I didn't think you could find that out.
you find a cluster of collected brown leaves. You just found a big old handful of them. They smell interesting, almost smoky.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not drinking that.
Oz, right?
Yes, master.
You mind carrying these?
Of course.
All right.
What are they?
I believe we're making some tea.
Well, I don't know much about this world, so yes, tea it is.
That's what I'm told. I figured I'd just pop out here for a wee bit and get some tea for everybody.
What an excellent side quest.
Thank you. Your reassurance means everything.
I am only to please, master.
Right, well, let's head back. Hopefully it's not too awkward now.
Tea time. Wolfgang, what are you up to?
Oh, it sounded like he wanted to talk to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
You two meet at a certain moment. The golden time of twilight beginning to hit.
Golden hour.
Wolfgang, if I could bother you for a minute, and if
I believe you can.
thank you, and I will say if it's too much of a subject, then feel free to let me know and I'll drop it. But when did you your people first notice this wasting?
16 years ago.
15 years ago. Okay.
That's kind of angling my head towards Vicky. She was the first.
Right. Okay.
Wherever she may be.
Yeah, she's over there somewhere. She's not around at all?
You can't see her.
All right, well, I still kind of do that. And
Yes, I do recall you saying when you that you had buried her that time ago. I didn't realize that she was the first. I'm sorry.
What do you ask? You got something on your mind?
Just trying to, just trying to piece things together. It just seems strange that just some sort of, at least as far as I'm aware, this is a phenomenon that's never been heard of before where I'm from.
Yeah, you've never heard of the wasting before. Or anything akin to it by another name.
Yep. This is just something that's never been heard of. I've never seen any sort of research or information done on it. I mean, granted, this is happening, appears to be quite far away from home for me, but
That's becoming my concern right now, is seeing wherever he went with it, and he was never anywhere near my city.
right.
Which doesn't make sense, but I guess this couldn't have stayed home forever.
Were you people able to garner any information on this disease?
I mean, there's been other diseases of the sorts, things that, people lose their limbs, their body rots away. It's not the most, I don't want to say uncommon, but it's not the rarest thing in the world. I'm sure you have it where you're from as well, but this was something altogether new and unique. I mean, I'm by no means a scientist, so I didn't spend a ton of time diving into it. And honestly, after Victoria died, it was a bit of a sore subject for me, so
That's fair enough.
I didn't spend a lot of time looking further into it. Yeah, it wasn't until pretty recently I discovered my father, who also had it, and then he died. And that's, didn't necessarily rekindle my interest in finding out more about this thing. We just, or at least I just, call it an everyday fact of life. And it's not something that was like a plague, mind you. This didn't, run rampant through our city. This is something that just, hit here and there, seemingly indiscriminately. And trust me, the scientists, doctors, clerics of our city, I think we had clerics in our city. Anyways, they couldn't find a rhyme or reason to it either.
I see.
Do you have something to add to that? Feels like you do.
Well, I was in hopes of trying to put something together, but I'm afraid at this moment I don't think I have enough conclusive evidence of anything.
But that implies to me that you are trying to connect something.
Well,
So spill it.
having vague thoughts and ideas, it's just timelines don't add up unless there's some other factor that is happening that we haven't come across yet, which...
What timeline? Why are you
Well-
being vague about this?
So what I'm thinking of is my reason for traveling and subsequently being captured is this celestial body that flew through the sky during the Everlast War, and the one that landed in the Serpentine Mountains, which is nearby Lemenza, which is where we're headed.
Coincidentally.
Yes, and what I am thinking is, I was thinking if this was something that spread out to here, it was affecting somebody over here, perhaps that since we're close by, something has to do with that celestial body. Perhaps it's radiating something
Would I have?
from it.
Would I know when this celestial body he's talking about happened?
Roll a history check.
I could do that. I had a die that could do that.
I could do that.
Dirty
I
20.
can pretend I
Dirty
did.
20. You don't remember any major details about it. You do know a very large celestial body exhibited a strange green aura about it that flew way far south of where your city is.
When? About 15 years ago?
About 100 years ago.
Oh.
It was old catalog.
Okay.
But it's information you would be privy to.
Sure. I'm smart. I know some things. I went to school.
Privileged.
Privileged. Affluent.
Yes,
You
that's
know,
why right now the timelines aren't adding up unless either something lying dormant within it activated, or perhaps it, I don't know, dropped something along its flight path and it hasn't taken in effect until later.
I can kind of see why you didn't want to go into detail here. It's a lot of loose threads.
There is, but just amongst our group, there are many loose threads.
Yeah. They all
And-
kind of seem to be weaving together, though.
And the fact that now, just out of nowhere, we've encountered Frogden's father, like,
What are the
of
chances?
all people. And the fact that we were just brought over here, it's
Coincidental?
too coincidental.
Hmm. I'm sure if Nesta was part of this conversation, she'd say something about Lunaris.
Oh, most assuredly. Well,
I guess I don't blame her, but
whether the gods have designs in particular for us,
you really think that?
who knows? I'm never really been a religious man myself, and well, I am more familiar with the operations of Solaris rather than Lunaris. But
Well, I feel like we really cracked the case here.
there is one other.
Oh, God. Out with it.
Well, once we get to La Mensa, I know this may sound self-serving, but I believe we should investigate this crashed meteor that we know is in the Serpentine Mountains.
I mean, you want to go see it?
The Barons wanted to do something with it.
They what now?
Perhaps this is information for everyone.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
We'll be
Sounds like
convened
it might
tonight,
be.
but while I was captured, I overheard some things.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, you're kind of leaving me on a cliffhanger here. But I get it.
Good storytelling.
Maybe we get the whole group together and talk about it.
Yes,
Was it 48 or 72 hours he was gone from us?
it was just 24 hours.
Not even. It was a little over a day.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah.
Felt so much longer.
Felt like a month.
Well, we did play for quite some time to get to that point.
I was left behind for years. I don't know my own
Technically,
name.
I've aged.
you left to find your own way out.
To find one for all
To
of us.
find
a
our
way
way
out
out.
for
Find our
us.
way out.
Yes.
I imagine you have more than one story to tell from the apparent day that you were gone.
I felt them much longer.
Yeah, you're telling me. But I know I've said it already, but it's good to have you back.
It's good to be back and be out.
I pull up some grass. This is pretty nice.
Did you just touch grass?
I tore it out.
Rip grass on the ground. I love a bubbly.
Sorry, there's nothing but rocks for fucking weeks.
Yeah, that's true. I get it.
I mean, that's fair. It's just so funny to me.
Above land, above
I like that.
ground.
Wow, grass.
So
Literally what I
start to
Salted
gather
ear.
everyone up.
Okay.
While I'm over by the waterfall,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be like,
To be clear, just so you know where the waterfall is.
oh, we're not by a waterfall.
Well, you are. It's huge and descending off of about 300 feet downwards. You're at like the top of a waterfall. It extends downwards. It is massive. You can't see the end of it.
Which seems to defy science.
Go.
It
So
kinda
like, what's
does.
like on the? So like, I'm like on the top of the waterfall, like on the opposite side of the cliff. Of like where the water's going down from.
This is the waterfall.
Mhm.
Here.
Oh, so the waterfall.
Sorry.
Yeah.
This is the waterfall. You're here.
Okay, but is there like there's like a gap in between, or so where's the water coming from?
The water is extending from a river that extends to your left-hand side.
Mighty big river.
Very large river that extends out into a massive body of water, and then it goes off of a cliff.
So then so then we'd be on the opposite side of where that river is?
You're standing next to the water.
Yeah.
Right. Here's the lake. Here's the waterfall. Here's you.
I like that Kyle's explaining that. That was good.
Kyle's gets a closet in the dirt with a stick.
I love theater of the mind.
His eyes are huge right now. Just
So
there's
where's
the lake.
I'm just trying to figure out what's nearby that I can throw my psychic blade at.
There you go.
Water, stone, earth, a lot of it.
Okay, I want to
Straight
throw it
to
at the
sky.
water and
Do
see
it.
what does it go through the water? Does it what happens?
It goes into the water and continues further downwards before extends its reach and disappears.
Okay, so it goes through the water, kind of like if I threw a boomerang, it's kind of the same thing. Like it would probably go through the water a little bit and then.
Does it splash?
I know a psychic blade is far different from a physical object.
Okay, that's what I'm trying.
Yeah, the psychic blade doesn't have
out.
like a physicality to it. It leaves no trace. Like when you swing it against the ground, it phases through the ground. It leaves no cut.
Okay, so there's no splash or anything.
No.
It just kind of.
It goes in.
It's like
and continues as
energy.
far. Yes.
Intangible energy that just goes through stuff.
Correct.
She's trying to figure all this out. 'Cause she doesn't know where the fuck this came from.
Sure.
So that's why I wanted to know.
Yes.
She's okay. So excellent. How far again? It's
60 feet.
Okay. And then it will. So it does. Do I have any idea so far about what happens to a person when I throw one at them?
I don't think you do yet. Don't think you've thrown one at a person yet.
I think I've thrown them in battle.
Have you hit?
I don't know.
Mm.
I can't remember.
That's what I don't think has happened.
Really?
I don't
You
think
think
you've
I've
hit-
never hit anyone with my psychic blades? Is that
Not
right?
with your psychic blades. You've used your dagger, you've
Yes.
used your crossbow, you've hit with those,
You
but
slap
not with a
people.
psychic blade.
You're right.
I think you might be right too.
That's so funny.
Oops.
I'm sure someone will correct me.
Okay.
That's 2 levels of snake eye.
I would just like to say, for the purpose of this role playing, I know we're all about to get together, but I will have maybe walked a little further down to look at some more of the lake and the water, from
Sure.
Frogland, and then I'll kind of maybe see that everybody's. I don't know if you're calling everybody in, or if I kind of see them start to
The dinner bell.
congregate.
Sure.
I'm gonna have this thought of oh shit, I gotta get back over there, and then I'm gonna be there because I misty stepped.
Okay.
Oh, hell
Whoa,
yeah.
Nice.
But I didn't know that I was going to.
Mm-hmm. As you are all beginning to congregate together, you're starting to prepare your tea.
Right.
Appearing before you is Rangwin, who appears in a burst of mist.
Yeah, and I was running, so I have to kind of slow down.
My axe
Watch out,
immediately.
I'm making
Oh God!
Watch out for the tea, all right?
Have you been looking at my spell book?
No,
You used one of my spells.
I did.
Hold on. I'm sorry. What is this?
It's tea. I've worked
garbage.
very hard to make it for all of you.
He doesn't care about my misty step. He's just what is this?
What you look in what he has there presently is this stone bowl that as he's mortaring it, it's beginning to produce smoke.
I think you should.
It'll be ready in a moment, Phil. All right?
I don't think you're making tea. I think you're making an explosive.
Explosive tea. Whole new beverage. All right, move along, sunshine. All right.
Can I roll a nature check on that?
Absolutely.
That's only 9.
9. You're not familiar with this. You've never... I mean, you've seen brown leaves, but it is odd that they're appearing in summer. Not
Can
really
I
sure
do
what
a
this
medicine check?
is. You could do a nature check.
A nature check.
Nature or history. Both are applicable. Or
Oh,
survival.
I've done history.
Oh, sure, yeah. I usually let people make the call on what
I'm
they
gonna
want
do a
to roll
nature
for.
I just
check.
figured it was nature, so.
Well, so nature's a lower DC, history's higher.
Can I re-roll history?
Can I do
I'm
nature?
gonna
I
say
did
because
already go.
we already resolved it.
So
yeah,
I'm doing nature. Is that correct?
you can do nature or history. It's up to you.
10.
10. You're unfamiliar.
Just thought I'd check.
So I'm gonna open my spellbook to Misty Step and say, read! While I say, oh, tea?
Right, you'll be up in a minute here. All right?
Okay.
I don't think you should.
I'm gonna look at it and I go, but all I did was start running, and then all of a sudden, I just wanted to be over here, and then I was.
Well, magic does manifest in many different ways. It doesn't necessarily mean that she took it from you.
That's weird because that's not how I cast it.
Did I?
Is that the first weird thing that's ever happened to us?
Wait a minute.
That's a good point. Let me know when tea's ready.
If I just look at your book, can I do other spells in it?
Give it to me in the morning. Spend the night with it.
Okay. I take it.
'Kay.
Is it in a language I can read?
It's all in Gnomish.
So no, probably.
So no, Mish.
No.
Oh, I
There he is.
missed you.
Wolfgang kind of looks over. Huh.
I'm not gonna admit that I can't read it though. I'm
I
gonna
would never
just take it
admit that.
anyways.
Anyway, I called everyone together because there was something I would like to discuss with everyone. I was mentioning it to Wolfgang, and we've felt it was better to have this as a group meeting. So, I overheard some very interesting things while I was captured. The celestial body, this green meteor that I mentioned before that's crashed in the Serpentine Mountains. The Barons want something to do with it. They want to get to it. They're trying to find a way to get to it. Reasons why I don't know, but that was the purpose of their experiments.
Well, if they want it, we gotta make sure they don't get it.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. While I was down there, I was overheard the things that Brittany did and said. Anyway,
Is Cable nearby?
Mm-hmm. He's present.
apparently the Serpentine Mountains are very treacherous and very cold. They were trying to create subjects that could easily climb and be resistant to the freezing temperatures. That dragon, Balakratz, was originally a subject, but they abandoned him. I imagine with his distaste for them, he probably wasn't very cooperative. And, well, I believe we can see some of the evidence of what they were trying to do on Cable. And given your stature and ability, you could have been a good asset to them. I'm very happy that you're not.
I don't really know what to make of this.
And that's my thing too. I'm not sure what to make entirely of this either. As I've said before, there are incredibly loose threads that seem to be surrounding all of us in some fashion. They slowly seem to be coming together. And can we really call it a just sheer coincidence that of all people that we run into who was not feeling as sick and not feeling well out in this wilderness, that it's your father?
I'm as perplexed as you.
I purse my lips and kind of sit back.
Wolfgang looks over at Nesta.
I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, you're saying it.
If it's something that we need, that could be helpful, then perhaps, I mean, more information is the better.
Well, speaking of spilling some tea, here you go. Here you go.
Please,
Here
spill
you go.
the
I'm literally going to. That's just
I'll drink
rude,
it.
Phil.
I've never had
I
above
see
ground
him
tea
do
before.
that, so I don't mind too.
All right. Well, you're all.
For those of you who
That was
enjoy
right.
it, enjoy it. It's
Con
this.
save?
It's this slightly no con save. It's a slightly orangish liquid. It's extremely bitter.
What does it smell like?
May need a
Smoke
wee bit
and
of
carbon,
honey.
like something
that?
extremely burnt.
It's more for the refined palate.
Kylus, this is shit.
It's just because your palate's not refined.
Sure. Keep telling yourself that.
I personally love it.
Oh, good. The demon likes it. Cool. Cool.
I'm a devil. Thank you.
Welcome back.
I have so much actually picked up.
It's like in stereo. Jesus.
Quick question,
Stereo or
DM.
Jesus is.
Yes.
Have I asked?
Want to try that again?
Have I asked Nesta if she could do something for Dark Sight? Did
Not
I-
presently, no.
I haven't yet. Okay.
I mean, it's been mentioned that Lamensa might be a possible solution, I believe.
Potentially.
But, yeah. I think that's as far as we explicitly mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say it all feels sort of divine. Sorry, Wolfgang,
That's
but
fine.
it's true, and you know.
The likelihood of you saying that was discussed with high probability.
You could say we saw it in the stars.
You could say it's divine.
Maybe it's because we all shared that honey.
I never did.
I don't
I
know
wasn't
what you're
there.
talking about.
Oh, we all did the
Oh, that
moon
honey.
ritual.
I was there. Yeah.
But regardless, so the Barons want it. You read about it. It's something divine or defying the laws of what we know to be true.
If it has to do with the city of Everlost, well, divine in nature, it would call it far from it. Very infernal.
So
Oh, that's great.
maybe this is a good time to share information. Why do you seek it?
The Everlost War was my area of expertise, and
Is it just intellectual curiosity? That's it?
yes, academic and whatnot.
It took you all the way from your home continent all the way here just because you're curious?
Well, I didn't end up here because I was curious. I ended up here because I was kidnapped.
Yeah, you kind of did gloss over that small detail.
I was
Yeah.
I was on my way to meet a colleague, and we were going to
What colleague?
one Saradoc Iron Guard.
Shut up, Keegan.
He's
Cyranoc.
it's a dwarven fellow.
Yeah, from the war. Right?
No, he's not from the
Do I
war.
know? That's not one of
I
the.
think you're thinking of Lombard.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
What city was he in? Was he in Valborn or no?
He's not in Faldoran. As far as you know, he resides in Trimsworth Magical Academy. Yes. He is one of the teachers there.
He's a professor at Trimsworth.
Trimsworth.
Oh,
That's
you know
smart.
it.
I've heard of. That's where you're going?
That's where I was on my way to. We were going to. He was the one who first alerted me about this phenomenon and knew that it was could possibly be something with my area of expertise.
Divine intervention or something, right? That's where I'm going.
It's Trimsworth.
Yeah.
What for?
To get an answer that I kind of already have the answer for now. The whole thing with my grandfather. I don't think I told everybody
You
about
didn't
that.
tell anyone about this.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
That was a
about
private
that.
conversation with Doria.
Well, turns out all the stories of the great heroes of the hell was the last war called?
The Everlost War.
That was the one from 120
Yes.
years ago. All those great heroes from the Everlost War. I had been led to believe that my grandfather was one of them. By him,
What was your grandfather's name?
Victor Ravencroft.
History check on there.
Go ahead and make a history check.
With advantage, because this is my area of expertise.
Yes.
Because I was there. That is a 19.
19. He served as a fellow tactician amongst the war, though he did not see much combat. He had a incredible tactical mind, very intelligent, and he was key in taking back the Demon's Reach Tower. Or the Devil's Reach Tower. Sorry.
Which is it?
It was the Devil's Reach Tower.
Yes, before I go further, how much of a role did you say? Like, was he like there arm in arm with Dagodoria and Amir and all of them?
Yeah, doesn't sound like that actually is what happened.
Well, so, don't get me wrong, he was quite the help. He was a brilliant tactical mind. Actually, made some very key decisions in taking the Devil's Reach Tower. But as far as field operations and actually going into the fight, that was
Yeah.
most assuredly not his.
Yeah,
Please.
I've kind of learned from our fallen legendary friend there from, was that weeks ago now? How long ago was that?
Almost a week.
From a week
days.
ago.
It's been about 5. You're nearing your 6th day now.
All right,
I believe.
Um, it turns out a lot of what he told me was a lie. It actually turns out it might not have even been him, because Dagodoria killed him 100 years ago. I'm a little lost on the whole connection here,
Oh my.
being is that, again, someone told me stories of when he fought in the Great War.
Because I would, but obviously I wasn't present. Is there a way to retcon that I had like a basically like, oh my god, living legend right here, tell me everything that you remember from
Oh, with Dagodoria?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I absolutely would have taken the
Yes.
chance
You're a
to.
fan?
That is
Yes,
fair.
oh.
That is fair.
Hardcore.
It's freaking nerds.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
I mean, if that's a conversation that we need to have later on, that's totally
I think
fine.
it's something we need to have later
That's
on.
totally
yeah.
fine.
But I can give you
But I just realized...
essentially 2 minutes worth of what she had for time.
Right.
Yes, I wish I had gotten more time with Dagodoria to...
I wish we all did.
Yes, it's truly regrettable. I believe it's only Lombard that is left of all of them.
I mean, those were her final words. We should probably maybe seek him out someday.
Yes, but currently he's in the farthest opposite direction from where we're at.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yes.
Oh, if only I knew what he looked like.
Oh, well,
He's pretty.
I know what he looks like,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Well,
You guys have seen each other in person before.
Yeah.
I did cast sending for Wolfgang's brother the other day, and I'd never met him before.
Ah, well, I could give you a good enough description, and you should be able to.
Sure,
That would be
That's crazy.
pretty interesting.
we could try it.
So, you're looking for Trimsworth. So am I. Anyone else? Okay, cool.
I'm looking for dinner.
Not really one to study.
Go on to some dinner. You want a what?
I'm not one to study.
Yeah, I gathered that.
And it's also that I'm looking for this meteor. She saved me so much time and just knew where it was already. And then her goddess connects her to this legend that was involved in the war that the meteor came from.
Yeah.
There was something happening. And inexplicably, we are all involved in it.
You know, that leads to a pretty interesting question. Hey, Kylas, how are you involved?
I really don't know.
Yeah, that seems like bullshit.
I honestly think I just fell into the situation.
I'd like to do an insight check on Kylas.
Go ahead and roll persuasion or deception, Kailis. Don't tell us which, just tell us the number.
Obviously, roll deception.
18.
12.
He honestly seems a bit dumbfounded in this whole situation.
I'm not an insighty boy.
It could be that perhaps his connection may not be revealed until later. We are slowly piecing things together.
Rengwin, what about you?
What about me?
Well, it kind of feels like everything's connecting except for somebody.
And
Well, didn't
maybe
you
if you drink the tea,
previously
you figure
meet
it out.
Frognan's family?
Yeah, there we go. There's a connection.
Yes, Dark and I met Frognan's family. I told
That's-
you about that, did I? I did. Yeah.
You told
yeah.
me about it for sure.
Oh, did all of us hear about that?
I think we eventually should.
I
Yeah.
think it's passively kind of been talked about. There was never like a, hey, by the way, this is what
Yeah.
happened to me.
She helped us out when we were in tough shape, Dark and I,
Why were you in tough shape?
because
Of secret reasons.
not secret.
Uh-huh.
I just
reasons you can't divulge.
Everyone begins to feel a thumb at the back of your head.
Oh, there it is again. Damn. Does anyone else feel that thumb in the back of their head?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I would describe it that way exactly.
That bit of pressure.
Why does this happen?
Rangwin, if you don't mind me asking, how exactly are you feeling right now?
confused.
Physically.
Can I insight check that?
Sure. Go ahead and roll persuasion or deception. Don't tell us which, just tell us the number.
Somebody got a natural 20 on
Yeah,
there,
it looks
so.
like-
I also got a natural 20. 25.
25 total. Insight.
21.
Oh.
I am also not an insighty boy.
She seems honest, as far as you can tell.
She
She
seems
seems,
honest as far as I
she
can
seems
tell.
legitimately confused. Yes. We're gonna operate off of what she's got, though.
Nat 20, nat
Nat
20, nat 20, nat
Nope.
7.
Since I asked the question.
Plus 13.
Everybody's a liar.
Everybody roll an insight check.
I will not be rolling an insight check.
That is only a 10.
Yeah.
Penguin,
no.
do you trust me enough at least? Can I cast a spell on you?
What kind of spell?
You've seen me cast it before. It's my identification spell. I've never cast it on a person before. But I just think I might be able to figure out these magic things that are happening to you.
Darek, you know why these things are happening, don't you?
If I'm being perfectly honest, I have no idea.
If I may ask another question, those blades that you create,
Yeah.
how do you do that?
I don't know.
I can
Honestly.
figure out.
Could you, is it possible, could you walk me through the process?
Well, I think. Usually it's when I'm angry or like.
You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn if you tried with those blades.
What a dick.
Would you like me to try again?
I've seen you try. He's not off base.
Perhaps you should try on the beefy fella. Hit him right where it counts.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
take
dare
one
you.
out and I'm gonna go, would you like me to try again, Kylus?
Try.
Right, let's see.
I'm right here.
Right, there he
Okay,
is.
that's enough.
I don't understand why it's everybody yell at Renguin time. What did
Yeah.
I do?
The
You guys are all talking to me at once, asking me questions that I don't have answers to.
exactly, but we are. I'm trying to help figure it out. I apologize if my approach is a little too much. While these two did assist in getting the results that I was looking for, I
Kind of pointing down at your hands where your psychic blades are sitting.
apologize that it was so rough.
Professor, you are a gentleman and literally a scholar. These two jerks that are getting on my last nerve right now.
I thank you for the recognition. DM, can I roll with my knowledge of war, fighting tactics, and that kind of stuff?
Mhm.
Can I roll a history check, and specifically in regards to things of psychic nature, or as they would be called, psionics?
Sure.
Could I give him assistance because I have also a lot of psychic abilities?
That's fair. Advantage. Advantage.
Okay, so that's 11 plus 8, which is 19. But I'm going to tactical
yes.
assessment and add 7 to that, which is going to make it 26.
Psionic capabilities beyond the extent of spells such as telekinesis, spells such as catapult, the actual manipulation of psionic energy is extremely rare. It is commonly found within creatures such as the Gith. It is innately installed in them, and that spells of similar nature will manifest themselves within this fashion of psionic energy. But they tend to duplicate the effects of a spell. This is something entirely different. An ability like this has never really been seen, or at least documented. It was not a common sight upon the battlefields of Everlost, and it has not been documented within any wars within Lauthia. It is extremely rare, and the full extent of its abilities is unknown.
So I'm gonna be like looking at you as I'm like thinking and just.
His eyes turn into money signs. Gold, platinum.
Ringwin, thinking about it, I believe you have just become my thesis.
He's gonna be a doctor.
I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. But by my understanding, these capabilities, they're simply, well, not heard of. It's very rare.
Wolfgang's gonna kind of lean down to try to touch the blade. You gonna let me?
Yeah, I'll let
Just
you.
touch the side of it.
Oh, you immediately get a headache and blood begins to drip out of your nose.
Ooh.
But from your hand, there's no visible wound.
Are you okay? Why'd you do that?
As I've suspected,
You take 1 point of psychic damage.
this is
That was interesting. That's why.
a phenomenon known as psionics. Things created with the mind. Normally, this is associated with things like telekinesis. Frogden, I believe I've seen you push some people around before.
Yeah.
Yes, so normally it's things like that, controlling things with your mind, moving things around. This is manifesting very oddly, though, just in the making it into a blade.
Is it dangerous? Am I gonna hurt you guys?
I mean, I think it.
It's a little dangerous.
Well, I mean, I'm sure if you treat that like a normal dagger and huck it at somebody, it will probably hurt them. Yes, but I think
Do you want to try?
it's. Hold on.
Okay.
You just got a nosebleed from touching it.
It's not a big deal.
I think it may have to do a bit with your intent. Because think about this. These two chuckleheads were just barking things at you, and you were getting frustrated and angry, and you manifested the blade. And perhaps in other situations when there are enemies about, that's how you manifest it, because, your intent is, I want to hurt them. They are attacking me. And when you came over here and you just popped over, it, seems very similar to a spell, but your intent was to, I have to get over there.
Yeah.
And
Throw it at me.
perhaps
So you think that you can cast a spell to figure out what it is and why I have it? You would know?
I mean, maybe. Usually it only works on objects, but I could give it a go.
I wonder if you could do it on just specifically the blade that she creates.
Yeah. It'll take me a few minutes. Let's take some privacy.
So you're not going to throw it at me? Okay.
Throw it at him first.
I will
Okay.
I will
Yeah?
say
We're doing
that-
this?
I'm gonna take a step back.
Hell yeah. I'm going to walk 10 feet that way.
Put your shield down, though. Don't want you chickening out last minute.
Okay, well, if we're doing this, I am
All right.
going to take notes.
throw my shield down.
For science and magic.
What do you got?
Well, I have to roll, right, to see if
Oh,
I
yeah.
hit him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you actively trying to dodge?
No.
This is at advantage then.
And he doesn't have a shield, so it's his
it's-
AC 16.
Yeah, my AC is 16. Don't you fucking crit me.
That was a nat 20.
Okay.
Hey!
No,
rules are rules.
A nat 20 is a nat 20.
My point is, Nat 20 has the most control. Are you trying to fuck up his evening?
No, I'm
okay.
not trying
Okay,
to. No.
that's all I wanted to specify. It's not like
I
it's force
think we
maxed
really
out
should.
die or anything.
I
It
don't
is-
want his head to explode.
We are going for the best scenario that the attacker
But I would
is going
love both
for.
noses to bleed.
Sure,
Both
absolutely.
noses.
Can I be trying to hold his arms
Yeah.
behind his back, and so she gets sneak attack?
She's already at advantage, so technically it's sneak attack.
Right.
How much damage are you trying to do here?
Well, it's 1d6
I can take
plus
it.
4.
Okay.
Plus your sneak
let's-
attack,
let's-
which is...
Do you want to add
Maybe
sneak
instead of
attack?
maxing the dice, just have her roll the 2 dice.
Oh, that's
like
right.
a normal crit.
We can do that.
No, let's do the thing where you max it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Full damage.
Yeah. Okay, so
So
okay.
it's a d6 to start, so that's a 6.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll another d6.
I did roll it a second ago. It was a 2.
Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3,
And then I get
4.
to roll it again?
And
And then it's plus 4.
how much is your sneak attack damage?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's all maxed out too, right?
Yes.
Yes. KO him.
Where do I look at
No
this?
fucking
We're
chance.
currently at 12 points of damage.
That's prior to any sneak attack, right?
That's prior to any
That's
sneak
Give me
attack.
12 points of damage,
I
stand on
think
my
it's a
head.
little further down. I need to get better at knowing this stuff. There it is.
Yeah.
3d6.
Oh, yeah.
So
Another
6,
18.
12, 18 on top of
So
that.
we're
That's
30
a
damage.
30. Now go ahead and roll 3d6.
Yeah, there you
We're
go.
at 30 currently.
Oh.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's 6.
36 points of psychic damage.
Easy.
What happens to him?
In a nice casual evening of scientific exploration, you throw the blade, you're holding his arms, he's standing there ready and present, the blade sinks into his chest where his armor would be, leaving no mark, and his nose and eyes erupt in blood, like gushing out of his fucking head.
I
I
scream.
I really need a con check real quick to see if you make any sound.
Oh my word! Oh my god!
That was so fucking
Like it
cool.
turned into eldritch horror this evening.
22.
22, stoic as a fucking rock. His face explodes in blood and he just stands
He's
there.
passed out, standing up.
He's unconscious making death saves.
That was pretty good.
Your brain is hemorrhaging right now.
I know where all of my commander strikes are going now.
If you all excuse me.
I mean, I did roll a nat 20.
And
Let's
Wolfgang's
not
gonna-
have it every time.
Hey, but it's more
Wander off
chances
to the
for it.
far enough away where he thinks that no one can hear him and just go, fuck!
I think Nesta hears this with her passive
I'll
perception.
cast Healing Word.
Go ahead and roll 2d4.
There was, in fact, combat tonight.
Frogman, just do it now. Just do whatever you're going to do.
7.
Do it right now. I don't want to hurt
7.
anybody. That was crazy. Just do whatever you have to do.
Okay, I'll pull her away a little bit so I can focus on my ritual, and
As-
I will. I'll try to identify her blades.
Okay. Are you ritual casting or just going for it?
Ritual. Okay.
Ritual.
I have spell
Pretty good.
slots. I'll just fucking go for
You
it.
asked for it.
Might as well.
Magic begins to exude off of it. This hazing purple energy is expanding off of it. School-wise, this is evocation.
But I'm not detect magicking. I'm identifying.
Oh, you're identifying.
Uh-huh.
My bad.
That was a free detect magic. Nice.
Hey.
Damn it! So I should have been paying attention. Casting identify over this, it's not ringing as anything. This is not the effects of a spell, by any means.
Is it an object?
In and of itself, no.
It's just merely an idea.
A conundrum.
So
I
no
got
answers?
nothing.
Question for you.
Mhm.
As she's getting more flustered about just like what happened, does that pressure increase at all?
No.
I'm sorry.
Well, why don't you cast it on me if it doesn't work on the blade?
Okay, I can give it a try. It'll take a little more time. I will ritual cast this one because I've been low on first level spells this evening.
Okay.
Okay, and it'll take.
Because
about
if
10
it's
minutes.
in my brain, maybe that'll tell you something.
Yeah. All right. I'll try to identify her.
Okay. You cast identify. Spell goes off. What does identify look for you normally?
Identify when I ritual cast particularly.
Mhm.
So I have to borrow the book back. I'll give it back in just a second. And then I'm flipping to empty pages. And through the empty pages, it's honestly a little bit of like Tom Riddle's diary. There's a lot of Harry Potter references today.
Apparently.
Where I'm writing down observations and letting the book absorb it
Okay.
and seeing what comes back.
Okay. what returns to you a number of times is question mark, question mark, question mark.
All I know is you're unique. You're special. There's something real cool about you.
Yes, PhD level special.
I'm gonna be rich.
How far off do you walk?
Realistically, like 30, 40 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, not I mean, I wanted to be far enough where I hoped no one could hear me.
30, 40 feet's not very far.
All right, let's call it 100.
Okay. What is everyone else up to?
So we've learned nothing.
Well, I think when you get a little flustered, that's when we start to.
Do I feel that pressing too when all that happens? Or is it just them?
No.
No, I don't.
You and Tarek usually go through meditation, yes?
Yeah?
I'm not saying that you have to do it right now, but perhaps, like, go through that, and then the rest of us should observe that as she calms down and centers herself, perhaps the pressure will go away. Perhaps it's just your psionic abilities coming out as you're just now gaining control of them.
As you kind of bring up that pressure, you think back to it and you're like, oh, it's gone already. You don't remember it leaving, but it is gone.
I don't know if it's the tea, our scientific inquiry, or what. But I'm exhausted, guys.
Yes, we have been traveling quite some time.
Well, I told your dad that we'll wait until tomorrow to hear what he has to say.
That's on him.
It's true.
I'm going to bed.
I'm starving.
Would you like some tea?
As we pull away from that moment, we come a little bit into the forest where you are wiping off blood presently and just reeling from the shock before you feel something brush up against the back of your leg and you hear. You turn around and there's a green dragon.
Smaller, the one I recognize?
About dog height or so, kind of looking up at you, narrowed eyes, and you're something fall from the trees. And when you look forward, Nalana is there, bow drawn, aimed directly at you.
Well,
It appears we have some conversation to have, grandson.
What the hell?
And we're gonna go to a break.
Son of a bitch.
Wait, what?
Final.
Looks like we're
break.
not done.
We'll see you back here momentarily, folks.
Yeah, good thing
Am I
I've
gonna
listened to
meet my
spell slots.
And welcome back. Yeah! Bringing us back into the moment. Wolfgang had moved himself away from the remaining group
Rookie
to
mistake.
collect
Needed a moment.
himself.
To bleed.
To bleed
To
and
bleed to
collect
death.
himself.
Bleed his own blood.
she made
While
me
suddenly
bleed.
being confronted by Bristol and his owner, Nalana. Standing before you, arrow out, pointed directly to you. A bow that curves and extends, but is in the shape and look of dragon wings.
How close is she?
She's about 40 feet away.
Oh, that's far. Sorry. It's Wolfgang. I don't know what you called me, but
Wolfgang Ravencroft, I presume.
that's a pretty correct assumption. Presumption? Whatever it was.
You're not very good at this.
At having a conversation. Well, most conversations don't involve a bow and arrow being pointed at somebody, but sure, I'm the one that's not good at this.
Seems you were raised in a cushy lifestyle. I'm familiar with this conversation. As am I. As Dan will come out of hiding. Blade out. The tip of the rapier is vibrating intensely, and he kind of limps to the side a little bit. He's still having difficulty walking, but he can move.
Is he also 40 feet from me?
He is far closer to you.
How much is far closer?
About 10 feet away.
Okay.
None of us know about this.
Not presently, no.
So, what's going on?
I believe it's time that we have a conversation.
Time to have a conversation. We just met. What do you mean, time to have a conversation?
Please, sit.
No, I don't think I will.
Let's see what I
Fucking
have.
hell's back.
The Druids are here.
Is that what the owls are? Druids?
That's what we were
Wild
saying in the
shit.
chat in the last episode.
Look for my
I actually don't know
Because
what
it,
the effect
it
was.
happened to be when, like, Dagador and Nessa were talking about the alliance of the Druids.
They feel like we can have a conversation with me standing here, you standing there, preferably without an arrow pointed at me.
No, I think we'll keep that aimed and ready.
That seems rude, but sure, if you insist.
Color us suspicious.
Yeah, suspicious of an unarmed man. That's
They look at the axe on your back.
well,
Relatively.
Touche.
kind of doing one of these.
Well, if you're anything like your grandfather,
Yeah,
you're
well,
plenty dangerous without a weapon.
Yeah, you got me pegged. Proceed.
So what brings you here, Wolfgang Ravencroft?
What
Really?
brings me here? To this spot or the area in general?
Near us.
Chance, it sounds like. I know someone would say divine intervention, but I don't know how much I believe that.
I've seen plenty of effects by the gods, but not one that I'm willing to believe about for this moment.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm having a really difficult time having this conversation with any sort of honesty or forthrightness while you have an arrow aimed at me. So, again, let me put that down, and we can have a conversation like civilized people.
Roll the persuasion check.
He's a
That one.
Oh.
Man, felt like I was convincing, but
Welcome to the world I live in. Welcome to the world that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
This is necessary. It's required. You're going to have to get used to it, Wolfgang. We have had plenty of encounters with your grandfather. Some, actually, fairly recent. Maybe, a month ago or so. So imagine our surprise when a group of bumbling individuals,
Yep.
excluding
Bumbling.
my son, of course, happen
Very
upon
dare.
us two. And who seems to be following along?
Who's your son?
My son being Frognand.
Yeah, that's confusing to me. No, continue. Yeah.
Color us surprised.
Join the club.
We are not ones to indulge coincidence.
Mm.
You mentioned your grandfather over at your camp. Stories, myths, legends. Why are you here?
Well,
Convince me. As if your life depended on it.
yeah.
question.
Answers.
He's a fairly loud guy.
Sure.
He's only 100 feet away.
Let's look at some passive perception.
That's not even out of my spell ranges.
Mine's the same as Nesta's, by the way.
Really?
Mine too is the same.
I
as
am
Nesta's.
looking for food.
I was
just
like
to be
300 feet
clear.
of dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
Does that help?
120 feet of perfect sight.
At this point,
Are you
Wolfgang-
attempting to be boisterous?
No.
I'm gonna say no then.
He's having
Because-
trying to have a normal conversation.
Yes, because they are actively being sneaky about this.
Yeah, that's the only.
Yes, no, that's I understand.
Born to check.
Scream like a wee girl. Come to us.
So, your question to me is how or why I'm here.
Yes.
And it sounds to me like you knew my grandfather, something to that effect.
Correct.
And you saw him a month ago.
At least.
Is it greater than a month ago or more recently than a month ago at least?
Greater, at least.
Okay. So, how is that possible, being as that he died 100 years ago?
Question for question. Answer mine first.
I'm going to be honest, I wasn't paying attention. That was a question.
I'm bleeding from the brain.
I tell you what, though, I'd be...
Can you ask it in a more interesting way?
I probably would have an easier time recollecting things if you put
If
that
an
fucking
arrow wasn't
down.
aimed at you, yes. Well, I have already told you the answer to that request.
You're boring me with this.
And if you don't want the next step, like I really don't want the next step, you will answer my question.
Yeah.
You seem to fail to understand where you are or who you're with. And I don't blame you necessarily. I keep things close to the chest on purpose. It's the safest way to be dangerous.
It's cowardly. So, as
I've
I'm
seen
sure you
worse.
know, yeah, we've all seen worse. You're-
Continue.
Do you have a high estimation of my grandfather? Is he a friend of yours?
Roll a persuasion check at disadvantage. You've yet to answer his question.
Her question? Oh,
His.
that's his question that he's asking me. It's probably gonna be worse, but yeah. 8.
I am curious how thin my patience can be worn. I will give you one more chance.
Yeah.
Why are you? He comes within 5 feet. Here. And the blade taps your leg.
It's a rapier?
It is a rapier. And as it touches, in your mind, you're.
I am looking for answers. That's why I'm here and where I'm going. I was looking to find out who my grandfather really was. But fortunately for me, I've already arrived at that answer.
Roll a persuasion check. The muscles are flexing. They're ready to do something.
Do better next time.
Be quiet. 12.
12.
Okay. We're past the threatening part. We can have conversation like real people now.
You don't strike me as the individual who has not utilized aggression and intimidation to get what you want.
Of course I do.
Of course.
I don't like it being used against me.
Tough. Get used to it, weakling. He walks away to the side. Bristol does not leave your side, still within 5 feet. You can smell noxious gas beginning to warm up. He sits. Sheathes his weapon. So you've come to a conclusion. What is it that you have learned about your grandfather?
I answered your question.
Fair enough. expect the next minute of me dodging.
Okay. Do you want to just wait a minute and then we'll get to the actual
No,
answer?
let's hear what I have to dodge.
Yeah, that requires me to remember what I asked you.
Not my fault, you have a poor memory.
Not my fault, you're not very interesting. So,
Jesus Christ.
do you have beef with my grandfather, or is it some sort of thing where you're, fawning over him? I've heard of people having both, so.
Considering he's causing my current affliction. Yes, I have beef.
Oh, good. It sounds like your threats were never necessary, because I seem to have a similar beef. Probably not as terrible as yours, but beef nonetheless.
Then explain.
Well, I was told by him that he was a great ally and asset during the Everlost War, and I've learned pretty recently that that was not the case, and, well, it sounds like he was a bit of a shithead.
An expert manipulator, a liar, an illusionist master, for sure.
Yeah, that is beginning to sound like him. The thing that I don't understand is how he died 100 years ago at the hands of the legendary Daggledoria, yet was the man who used to read my brother and I's stories, or tell us stories of his exploits in the Great War, and is now apparently a man who you've encountered on many occasions, more than one.
Yes,
You can see how that doesn't add up to me, right?
sure. Magic can do many things,
It's
as
what
I'm
I've
sure
learned.
you're aware of.
Are you looking for him?
No. I am actively hiding.
From him?
Yes. A version of him.
Do you care to expand upon that, or is this...
His simulacrum.
Okay. Maybe explain that to me like I don't know what that is.
A puppet. One that is a exact imperfect copy of himself.
An exact, imperfect copy.
And perfect.
And perfect.
The only thing he lacks is his ability to regain magic. So consider him on a timeline in terms of his usefulness. He has been buying his time and utilizing his skills and abilities to track me down in a persistent and slow fashion. But I feel that he is nearing the end of his rope.
No offense. No. Offense to you. Why would he give a shit about you?
That I can't tell you.
You're a wealth of knowledge.
So I've been told.
Okay. She said something about... She called me grandson.
You had mentioned that you are the grandson of Victor Ravencroft.
Oh. Got it. It was more of a title.
Nalana is very much not related to you.
She looked a little young. So, here we are. You in all your threatening, feeble glory. Anything else I can impart?
I suppose you're not a threat.
People have said that before.
You're not the threat that I should be concerned about. I'm sure you're more than capable.
Yeah. People have said that too.
You may go.
You gonna do anything with your grandson over there, or your son over there?
It's not your concern.
He's kind of a friend of mine. And, well,
So imagine my concern.
your concern. You who left your son and family, being that son now being partied up with somebody who is actually capable of being there for him, defending him, helping him. Yeah, I could understand your concern. That checks out.
You like being right. You like having the last word.
Don't we all?
Yes.
This is so mature.
This
Just
is
two
the tea. I wish I
Giant
had
egos just.
Okay,
You are, but what
well.
am I?
You're a smart boy. I expect you understand how I feel. Close, at least.
Can't say I do. My father didn't leave my family.
And no kin of your own. Little child, I mean. Come back to me when you're a father.
No. If I had my way, I'd never have to look at you again.
Same.
Good luck with that. And then he's going to turn and start walking away.
Yeah.
Got the last word.
You did it.
And as he's
Well, that
walking
went
away,
well.
one of these.
We've stayed here too long. Let's go. You return back to the group. Though most of them have departed, moving off to make camp, get ready,
Find dinner.
Setting the big
find
tent
dinner.
up.
Gonna find Frognand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing a note.
What you doing there, buddy?
Oh, I'm writing a note to my dad.
Yeah. Funny thing about that guy. We just had a fun little conversation. It was solved basically nothing. He's a real asshole. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn that. You know,
That's what it's like having parentals as assholes.
I've told you why I'm out here, right?
Not really. You kind of alluded.
Okay. I know I've told Nesta.
You made it seem like it was a fun little thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So my dad, when I grew up with him, he was the leader of the Hollow Guard, the protective force of Hovel Hollow. And about 23 years ago, like you probably heard, he disappeared. And there was no protection for Hovel Hollow. And so my sister, just a few years older than me, still a child at that time, took up the family mantle and became captain of the Hollow Guard.
A woman as a leader.
That's how it is.
Don't look at me.
Yeah. She's been a better leader than any man I've ever known. And my mother, and they were able to make things run smoothly for some time without my dad's presence. And just recently, my sister went out on an expedition for the Hollow Guard, just like my dad. And she came back, but she was petrified, literally turned to stone.
How did she come back?
She had one member of her cohort that survived and brought her.
What was she looking for?
I don't know.
Why did she leave?
They keep those secrets from me. I don't know what my dad went to search for. I don't know what my sister went to search for. But I know that now there's no one to protect my home. I was never a warrior. I read books. I play pranks. I'm just a kid, you know?
You're more of a warrior than you think.
Well, thanks. But I'm trying to bring back my family, those that can really protect our home.
So you're looking for a cure to petrification?
Yeah. and to provide safety for a really vulnerable population. I thought my dad could help when I saw him here, but I don't know. I guess you don't choose your protectors. You don't choose who you travel with, right? You sometimes life deals you blows and you go along with it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have this note. I'll leave it for him, but I don't really care to see him again.
Yeah. Well, you can't really choose who your family is, but you can choose who you travel with, and you can choose who your friends are.
I'm glad I'm traveling with you.
Same here, little guy. You need some rest.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm gonna sleep a little separate tonight. Is that okay?
No. Stay close. I don't really honestly trust your father or the woman he was traveling with.
Okay. Well,
You can take some distance, but not too far.
That's fair. I'll start settling in, and I'm gonna keep writing my note.
All right. What's everyone else doing for the evening?
Pretending to read Frogman's book.
Okay. Roll me a straight intelligence check.
A straight up intelligence check.
Is Vicky back?
Yeah, she's been back for a while.
Good thing I have +5 to my intelligence.
Into the bag of banana chips.
Good thing.
Ugh. How's 14 feeling?
14. Hard to decipher this, considering it's a different language.
Okay, but every once in a while I'm just gonna like put my hands on it and like think really hard.
Mm-hmm.
See if like I feel anything come into my body or turn the page, try again. Nothing.
Doesn't feel like anything's clicking.
Alright, I'm gonna close it and be like, oh, I fucking hate books.
Okay.
Only nerds like books.
Only nerds like
Um,
Then I just use it as a pillow and I
Weird
start
itch.
to go to sleep.
Okay.
osmosis.
Is it nighttime?
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my new place that I roll things. I need to put them in the box.
I'll take a
will
watch as well.
join Nesta on her watch.
I'll join Phil.
Does anyone want to take that third and final? If not, some of your allies will volunteer. Cable will step
Well,
up. for one.
Derek can't do it.
I was gonna say, I was really gonna have
Cable's gonna step up.
Too
and do it.
soon.
I'll join Cable.
Okay.
As people start to go to sleep, though, I'm going to cast non-detection on myself
Okay.
and cast invisibility on myself.
All right.
And use my Swerfnebelin camouflage if you think a roll calls for it. And I'm gonna try to sneak into the cavern.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Yes.
At advantage.
Well, he's rolling. Just curious. They obviously just left, right?
You haven't seen them since the cavern.
Yeah, we haven't seen them.
Okay.
You don't know this?
Well, I'm just curious, like, they just never came back. They just walked off at some point and just never came back.
Well, we walked off.
No, we walked off. Yeah.
You guys are away from the cavern mouth, and you are closer towards the water, unless you guys are moving
I thought
back.
we were having tea back at the cave.
Oh.
No, I pictured us outside the cave.
Oh,
outside the cave. Yeah.
Oh,
But like 50 feet or so.
I
outside
pictured
the
us
cave.
like a couple hundred feet from the cave. Is how
So
we're
probably
at.
some distance from the cave.
Somewhere
Yeah.
nearby, but
I just thought we were hanging around them because, like, she was doing that stuff and, like,
Gotcha.
okay, never mind then.
Total of 22.
22. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I presume I get to the cavern, right? Do I see them?
Roll a perception check.
Yeah. 9.
9. Looking about the space, you see what's left over of a campfire. in that area. You don't see them present. You see scraps of food left about. They clean up pretty well in this space. You do see a bit of parchment left folded.
I'll reach out my invisible hand.
It becomes invisible with you.
Can I read it?
It is gnomish.
So it's not invisible to me.
No.
Okay. What does it say?
Frognand. I don't expect you to understand why I left all those years ago, nor while I'm leaving now. I'm followed by dangerous people. People who would take you and use you to their advantage to get to me and my allies. The things I guard and keep are dangerous. I protect them to not only protect you, but the rest of this world. It is not a task that I do alone. I am too hot of a target. Should you want more answers, seek out Zieg.
Spelled
Z-I-E-G. You will find him in Leminsa.
Okay.
All roads lead to minutes.
He doesn't say he loves me or anything like that.
That's what.
Cool.
Wait, what? Oh.
Your father.
Great.
What a dick.
Love that.
Dick.
Cool.
Should have fought him.
Can I search for tracks?
Yeah, go ahead
I'm
and make
an
a survival check.
Expert tracker, as everyone knows.
As everyone knows.
As I too am expert tea maker.
Any way that
Oh
I
my
can
God.
fucking buff myself on this?
Enhance ability?
If I told Nesta.
Nesta, buff me.
Yeah.
Buff me now.
Someone needs buffing. I
11.
sense it.
My buff senses are tingling.
You see a few steps that have like a bit of a limped gait, but it quickly gains traction and they find whatever balance they need and their footsteps are gone.
There's still hot coals, you said?
They're not hot. They didn't really have a campfire going originally when you were there. You imagine they've been using this for a little while, but they never lit it tonight. They
Alright.
decided to go.
Well, I'll add it up with prestidigitation. And burn my note. And then I'll go back to bed.
All right. Who's taking first watch?
Me and Wolf.
All right. Go ahead and roll perception checks.
Both of us?
Both of you or one of you at advantage.
Oh, I also burn his note.
Okay.
8.
6.
Seems pretty quiet.
While we are there, I was wondering, and I hate to ask, you wouldn't be interested in sending another message for me, would you?
Sure. What do you need?
Welcome to the life of telephone.
Is your brother again?
Yes.
All right.
Take it easy there.
Okay. Cast sending.
It's a little, just word for word. I'm trying to make it so that he knows it's me.
All right.
Hey, Wormy,
Hey, Wormy.
don't ignore this message, idiot.
Don't ignore this message, idiot.
My friends and I are heading to Leminsa.
My friends and I are heading to Leminsa.
We will head home when we are able.
We will head home when we're able.
Be safe.
Be safe.
I counted it out already.
Nice.
Roll a persuasion check at advantage.
Oh, I was right there.
teetered.
Oh, man.
13.
13. It's not bad.
This guy might be dumb, you don't know.
Strange. You speak exactly as my brother does. Well, strange woman in my head. I would appreciate if you stayed out of it. Though thank you for the update.
No.
Though thank. Though thank.
It sounds like he was starting to thank me for something. And he wants me to stay out of his head. But he seems to think it's you contacting him, or sounds like you.
I was hoping that would work.
We can keep trying as long as we need to.
I really appreciate it.
No problem. I like to feel useful.
Yeah, get the impression that there's no shortage of usefulness for you.
Frognan's dad's kind of a dick, yeah?
Oh yeah, he totally attacked me earlier.
What?
Yeah.
Attacked you?
Yeah, I probably should have told everybody.
My God! What?
Yeah, after
Silent
Rangwin
screaming.
maliciously attacked me, I
Your sleep.
Lies and slander.
I took a walk. Not that it was that big of a deal. I just took a walk, and the woman he was with came out of nowhere, had an arrow aimed at me, and then
Why did they
Papa
attack
asshole
you?
over there showed up, and well, see, the thing is, my grandfather is hunting him.
Ew.
Yeah. You know, my grandfather, who's dead, but
Aw.
apparently isn't. Do you know what a simulacrum is?
It's like a puppet, I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Apparently it's his simulacrum that is hunting them.
Well, that's not normal.
Yeah, and I don't know if that means that he's controlling it somewhere else, or if that is him. Because again, I thought he was dead,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't seem to stick with him.
Well,
I'm a little worried he might change his hunt to us. That's just a hunch, though.
big yikes.
Yeah, that's what they say at your temple, right?
That is what they say.
Big yikes.
Big yikes.
Why?
It's canon now.
It's canon.
God, just load me
She
into
said
my
it
cannon.
in her British accent.
I
so
can't
it's
wait
canon.
until you have to RP as the clerics of Laminsa.
And he has to put a big yikes in there.
It's actually it's on a stone wall in the temple.
Yeah.
Big yikes, my guy.
Written in Celestial.
Multiple
poorly translated.
languages. Yeah.
Well,
All who enter here.
Should have killed you all with bowl.
Had your chance.
well, his dad seems to be guarding something that is of great value.
Yeah, I got the impression, based on him running for his life, that he's important. What
Well-
kind of something?
All I know is it's some kind of magical item. Or trove of magical items. And he didn't want Wolfgang to know about it because he's afraid that if Frognan. He didn't want Frognan to know about it because he's afraid that if he knows too much, he'll become a target.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to matter. Kind of getting the impression that we're going to be a target, no matter what.
Well, we
Is
better
that-
be more careful in who we trust.
Yeah. Maybe not wander off into the woods.
Helping random people.
I think it's probably that point that I start coming back from wandering off in the woods.
Damn it, Ferdinand.
He's invisible.
That whole not helping people thing doesn't seem like it's something that you know how to do.
I could try.
Yeah, I don't believe you. I have a hard time with it as well.
I've seen that too.
Does your God have any insights on any of this? Are you able to ask him, her, whatever?
Sure. Professor.
Her.
Her.
Sure.
Yes. Well,
Is Wolfgang a misogynist?
Yeah, I know. I'm starting to feel like he is.
Never had the chance to bring this up, but maybe a little.
I was wondering when you were.
I mean, right now?
Oh, I mean, sure. Whenever is convenient to you.
Maybe next time I pray.
Whatever works.
Great. I'll bring it up.
Thank you.
Man, just when I felt like we were starting to trust people in the world, you know?
I mean, they can't all be shits. And honestly, I don't think these two were evil people, per se. I just think they have their own agenda and aren't super interested in ours.
Mm.
But I gotta be honest, I'm a little more interested in theirs now.
Well, if we're meant to cross paths again in the future, I'm sure we will. Things have been lining up pretty
A
good.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a hell of a thing when Ringwood almost killed me earlier, right?
You asked for it.
I mean, didn't think she was gonna hit me that hard, but I guess I did ask for it. So much for helping with science. I blame that one on the professor.
Sure.
Scribbling notes into the night.
Quiet evening is had for the two of you. Second watch takes place.
They
I
wake us
believe.
up, right?
Yeah, they would.
I would just have a brief interaction with Wolfgang where I go, oh, hey man, are you okay? Because your face like exploded earlier. And that was,
Oh, that was nothing. That was fine.
oh, good.
It was a good hit, though.
Okay.
You did well. Next
Thanks.
time, though, use that on, anyone but me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy watch tonight.
Good night.
Oh, look out for deep gnomes and archers.
Okay.
You never know. They could be lurking in the trees. Maybe with a dragon. Anyways, good night.
Okay.
I imagine Wolfgang has like tampons in his nose. Like she's the man style.
She's the man, totally. Channing
I
Tatum.
pictured like dried blood in the mustache.
For a misogynist,
Little
it's
hint
extra
of red.
humiliating.
Yeah.
I believe it's you two taking the
Yeah.
watch.
Yes.
Excellent. One of you can roll with advantage, or both of you can roll separately.
What would you like to do, sir?
I
I think your perception is probably better than mine.
have a +4.
I have a +0.
Do you want me to roll with advantage?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a 15.
15. Things seem quiet 40 minutes in. And the evening's nice. It's not terribly cold out, being in the height of summer. It's a very clear sky, every star available and present. The hint of red shining through on Lunaris. The evening is yours.
I'm going to be sitting cross-legged, just kind of looking out for dragons and arrows and all that stuff.
I'm gonna notice that like you're like clearly out like looking more intently.
I'm
than
like a
me.
little freaked out, yeah. I'm like, I don't know what he was talking about, but now I feel like there's danger, so.
I'll walk up beside you and just is everything all right? You seem
He
rather...
scares me, and then I misty step into a tree. And I'm in the tree and I'm like, God! Professor! You can't just sneak up on me like that.
We both got up at the same time.
I'm hoping I'm not too high in the tree, so I'm just gonna jump
It's
down.
not terribly high.
Okay.
You seem rather jumpy this evening.
Hey, can you guys take it like, I don't know, 20 feet that way or something?
We'll walk that way.
Kind of like what.
Well, Professor, I gotta tell you, I'm a little uneasy.
What has you so worried?
Got all these things going on that I don't understand, really. I almost killed Wolfgang today. He's acting like it's no big deal, but his face exploded, like right in front of me.
I'm going to tell you this right now. No matter how grave the bodily wound, he will always ensure that his pride is never hurt.
It's just, since I met you guys, we've just been kind of going day by day, moving forward. That's the direction I want to move in, forward. Because if I try to look back, there's a lot missing.
How so?
Well, the earliest thing that I can remember
Thumb pressure at the back of your head.
is escaping with Darek from a really scary place.
Yes, I gathered that the two of you have been in prison before.
We were. Somewhere much further underground than I was with you guys.
Oh my.
All I know is once we finally got out of there, we were just walking through the dark. Like, really dark. And days just dark. And then we got a little higher up, I guess, and that's when we found Frogman's people. We were in pretty bad shape, and they took pretty good care of us, but then we got a little higher, got into the snow, and then boom, some fucking owlbear knocks me out, and then I meet you guys.
Right.
But that's all I remember.
So you, if I'm understanding correctly, what you're saying is that, well, did you live your entire life in this underground prison, or is it just you can't remember beyond that?
I have no idea. I have no memories of anything before, like, actually escaping.
So like no childhood.
No, none.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Well, I mean, it's not like I have anything to miss if I don't know what I'm missing, I guess, but
It's a way of looking at it. I'm curious if you have some sort of, like, blocked amnesia or something.
I don't know. But I just want to make sure that I don't put any of you guys in danger. I mean, these abilities that I keep manifesting, I don't know what they are or where they came from. I assumed they were part of being Gith, like Darek. But
Dark doesn't seem to have those capabilities.
that's what he says. I know he has some psionic, psychic capabilities, but I guess not these ones.
From what I understand, the Gith as a people have it innately. But yes, this seems rather peculiar. Something that I personally haven't encountered in my recollections of history. I'm sure, as you're aware, I am happy to help you in exploring them and learn them and hopefully have a better control and understanding of them.
Thanks. You know, I just keep thinking about how Frogman told me that I'm special. I just don't feel very special. I feel alone. And Darek, you know. The only person I really knew until I met you guys that I can remember, and now he's blind and
If you don't mind me asking, does Darek have the similar issue of the memories?
you know, I've never asked him.
I mean, technically, yes, you have. He did recall his past, his life growing up surrounded by other Gith, that he is not from this plane of existence. He does seem to recall a childhood when you spent time together.
Yeah, he.
As I was just saying, of course.
To be fair, it's like over a year ago we chatted about this.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to know who he is and where he came from, and I guess I was hoping after talking to him some more he'd know something about my family. I mean,
But it doesn't seem that's the case. Is it fair to think that the two of you met in your imprisonment?
well, he didn't seem, that familiar with me when we got out of there. I mean, familiar with, obviously, knowing that I was one of his kin or people, but I don't remember anything about growing up or who my parents were. I don't know, maybe Dark hasn't told me the truth.
How old are you, Ringwin?
I don't know.
That pressure is getting a little tougher.
Are you all right?
Yes, it feels less like a thumb and more like a fist.
What does?
The back of my head. Phenomenon that some of us have been noting, and I am very positive it's emanating from you.
I'm sorry.
No, it's quite alright. It's not doing me any harm. It's just it's when you notice when you get a headache. But it passes. But I'm wondering if it's potentially connected to your memories. Perhaps it's a defense mechanism. Maybe something within you is keeping your past from you. Because I feel like as I've asked questions to try and delve deeper, the pressure's gotten worse.
I mean, she starts to get like a little panicked, like a little freaked out. She's like, do you know what it's like just to not know who you are? I don't have any idea where I came from. I don't know how old I am. I don't know who my parents are. I don't know if I have parents. I don't know anything that's going on. I just put one foot in front of the other, and I'm just trying to...
Put a hand on your shoulder.
She's just gonna kind of like collapse into his arms and just cry. I don't know if I should trust nobody or trust everybody. I don't know what I stand for, why I'm here. But then I met you guys and I don't know, I just felt like I had some purpose. And I'm trying not to think about all of the things I don't know or don't remember. I'm just trying to be here now.
It's important for us to be present in the moment. It's important for us to do what we can to look ahead. I'm sorry that you are not familiar with your past, and I wish there was something immediately that I could do to help you.
You said that you feel like a pressure in your head when I try to remember things?
It's my running theory at the moment.
So maybe I shouldn't try to remember. Or if I do, maybe I should do it far away from you guys.
Given everything that has been happening, if you're going to go through an experience like that, I would rather you be with those that you feel that you can trust.
and I'll ask you this sincerely. Do you feel like you can trust us?
You? Yes. Nesta? Yes. Frogman? Completely. Wolfgang? I don't know. He seems to mean well. Kylus, absolutely not.
Spiraling down the rabbit hole.
He's shifty. He's on his own agenda. And I don't trust him one bit. But that doesn't mean I can't travel with him. I just keep a closer eye on him.
That's fair enough. I'm not going to say that I don't trust him, but I certainly surmise that his aloofness hides something deeper. And as far as I'm concerned, he is the last thread I'm having the hardest time connecting to all of this. But
Well, if anyone can figure out where my thread goes, it's you, Professor.
I would certainly like to help. As a scholar and a historian, it brings me great pain to know that you don't know where you come from. While it is important to, as you've said, be present in the moment and move forward, the past does help teach us.
I was thinking about that because of everything that we've been through together, and I don't know. Sometimes we're sitting around and talking about our plans, and I don't really know what opinion to give because I don't really know who I should fight for or care about. I do know that those barons are awful.
Yes, they're rather terrible.
But I also don't know. I don't care about them enough to go back there. I hope I never have to go back there. But I do feel bad for all the people that have to live there. And all the people that are being experimented on. I don't think anyone should be experimented on.
No. The things that I saw and the things that I overheard Preemie casually saying are... Well, I wish I didn't have such a keen mind.
Really shoehorn
What
that
are-
one in.
Drop the mic.
Woo!
Wish there was not so many dungeons or dragons.
What are we doing? Are we on an adventure? Are we heroes? Are we idiots? I have no idea.
Sorry. You caught me off guard.
All of the above.
Everything under the rain.
I will have to say, we could be a little mixture of all. And I will most definitely say we are on some sort of adventure. It seems things are leading us to Leminsa. And being as we just got out of a hellhole of a prison, it will be best that we find civilization. And luckily we will have some familiarity with Nesta and her temple. Perhaps it'll probably be apt for us not to mention that we broke out of Voxstrom, as it is essentially a prison colony of sorts. Word may spread that people have broken out, and we could very well have bounties on our heads.
Well, I'm going to stick with you guys because if somebody asks me what I'm doing and where I'm from, I don't know what to say. Maybe Nesta and her moon god can help me with my memories.
Perhaps the gods and magic have their ways of influencing the mind. But
to tell you the truth, I mean, we ran into Frogman's dad and he sucked. Maybe I don't need one. What if I remember and it's awful? What if I remember and I'm a bad person?
what if
What if it's better not to know?
Well, I hate to not to be one to give you an answer, but that is something entirely for yourself to figure out. As your compatriots, allies, friends, whatever you wish to call us, we're here to support you. But should you wish to find out who you were, we'll be happy to go along that journey with you. But if you would rather just stay the ringwind that you are now and move on from that, we're also happy to have you that way as well. And no matter who you turned out to be previously, I don't think that should disparage who you are now. Unless there's some sort of strange mind-lock trickery and it's suppressing those, like, evil intentions.
Okay, let's just go back to what you just said.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, thank you, and I thank you. And then she's gonna go in and, like, hug him. He's taller than her, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So she just puts her head on his,
Oh,
and, like, gives him, like, a big bear hug
Oh.
and holds him for a little bit. Then that's all the role play I need to do.
you're very welcome.
Comforted in the night, you may end up resting a little more soundly this evening. Third watch.
Kylos drops from the ring, about 5 feet above the ground. Just kind of lands, and all his hands in the ring back.
It's time.
It is.
Alright. Do you want to take a specific side or a...
I think we'd take a bit of a walk, kind of around the perimeter.
Sure. I'll take you in. I've never... It's my first time, so...
Just follow me.
Right. Follows along with you.
Leads them away from the group.
Okay.
Off towards the river.
Great
Oh my
watch, bro.
gosh. We're gonna die.
Throw it in.
Did you guys
Make
roll
an
perception?
insight check on you real quick.
No, did they roll perception to start their watch?
Not yet.
Nope.
They're not even
Oh,
watching.
they're not watching. That's right.
Do you need a roll from me?
No, garbage.
Okay.
Yeah, he's looking at you like, this doesn't feel like a perimeter. He follows you.
Okay. He'll take a seat kind of by the riverside.
There's plenty of rock formations that appear as you get closer.
Okay. There's actually something I was hoping to discuss with you.
Yeah?
It seems I owe you a debt. I am curious, though. You could have told him about the engine, who had it. Why didn't you? Could have saved yourself some pain.
I honestly don't know. It was... I just didn't want those fucks to win.
I do admire that. When we first met, I did believe you were someone I could trust. You clothed me, fed me, invited me to join you. I'd like to return the favor. Pim made this for me. I think you should have it. It took me some time to hem it a wee bit to fit you. So, it's yours now.
Oh.
Thanks.
Something to remember home.
Puts on a tailcoat.
I love that you're wearing suspenders because I always picture him with suspenders. So it works out
You can have
perfect.
suspenders.
Why not?
Jeez, that place, it, rotted filth smell down there, but yeah, it's comforting.
I'm sure it'll fade from the coat eventually.
I kind of don't want it to.
You hold on to that as long as you can.
Sure.
And you did feed me, so here is, I'm reaching into his pocket and pull out a plum. This is my favorite food. And this is homegrown on a tree of mine.
Where?
Don't worry about it. A taste of the surface world for you.
Don't think I know what a plum is.
Give it a taste.
A little stringier than I expected.
Tart, sweet, all wrapped into one, just like me.
I kind of hate how true that is.
I'll pull out my own and start eating it.
Thanks, Kylas.
You're welcome. Trust is a hard thing to earn for me, and you did that. So, I'd like to extend an offer to you. You invited me to join your gang, the Tailcoats. I'm starting something else. I'd like you to join the Obsidian Winds.
What? Well, is that like this group? What is it?
Not quite this group. Not yet, at least. But it's a bit of a vision, a dream right now. A wish of mine. And I'd like you to be a part of it.
I mean,
You don't really have to do anything special. There's no initiation or anything like that. I would just like you to do everything I've seen you do so far. Help the little people. Use your inventions to better the world.
sure. How make it sound so easy?
Yeah, well, it is pretty easy. I am curious though. There is one thing that I'd ask. What do you wish for above all other things in the world?
I wish for Voxstrom to see the light of day. Not from a distance, but right above them.
That's quite a hefty wish.
Above all else.
I'll see what the winds can do.
You have my full support.
Just a matter of time, I think.
Right. Obsidian winds.
Keep that to yourself, please.
Hushed tones. Sure.
You're good at keeping some things in, so why don't you keep this in as well?
Of course. You've got it.
Alright then. Let's keep watch, I suppose. Our cleric friend is more aware lately, but I suppose we shouldn't leave it all to her.
Fair enough. This is actually really good.
Oh, I can give you another one. I'll pull one out.
Finish this one, Bull.
From where?
And for the
He doesn't
first
have any
time
pockets.
since coming above ground, Cable's mood has improved.
Oh, that's not from Gwyn.
Shifty. False.
Shifty. False.
Tricksy.
A liar.
He never sees this side of him.
It's almost like he never shows it.
Maybe not.
All right. Would you like to roll perception at advantage or separate rolls?
Let's do separate rolls.
Separate rolls.
Dirty 20.
15. The evening seems pretty quiet. There's a bit of a rustle nearby that happens, but a little bunny hops out, scavenging about.
Throw Eldritch Blast.
Elder Blast!
Cable does actually. Do you want to kill it? What is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's just wildlife. Like the bats in the cave down below. Or where bats?
Wolf bat.
Wolf
That's
bats?
no, they're dangerous.
This isn't nearly. It's like
He's gonna shoot.
wee wolf bat baby. Totally harmless.
Well, if it gets older, it's gonna kill you.
This one will get older. Not that we're gonna kill it. But, oh my god.
I feel like you've made a poor analogy, but I'm gonna follow your lead.
I'll be honest, this is only like my second time seeing one of those.
Jeez. Alright. Beyond that, evening goes smoothly.
Okay.
You can see in the distance the sun ever so slightly starting to peek over the horizon.
And I'll cast Hex.
Yeah.
Just to start
Get
with
hex up.
that.
Yep.
I was like, on the sun?
On the sun.
He is powerful.
Black ring just.
Wolfgang.
Oh shit.
So I won't hit that long rest button.
Darkness envelops you as rest comes to your mind. And you hear precisely this. Lightning and thunder echoing in your mind before a flash echoes across the sky and you find yourself floating in the sky, flying amidst a hurricane storm passing through.
I'm inside of it? The hurricane?
You
Or above it?
are surrounded by it. You see, off in the distance, another individual flying. Darker skin, golden freckles across their face. Half elvish, maybe? It's hard to pin, but they're floating there.
Am I flying like, or am I just floating?
You're floating there.
Okay.
Rylan, you weren't going to be able to keep this from me forever. You know I'm too smart. Well, you can't blame a guy for trying. So what are we going to do about this, Victor? You're going to hand me the other sigils, or you're going to die. It's a tricky scenario you've put me in. But I suppose there's worse things than death. And a lance appears in his hand, hucking it forward, and as it flies forward, it's scattered before, and they begin to fly off. Thunder echoing through, shots, blasts, spells flying off through the air. An aerial mage battle, taking shots, landing hits, before crashing across onto a mountaintop where snow is starting to gather at this point. Landing to the ground. Your POV, Victor. Rylan lays on the ground. Did you really think when you gave me one sigil I was not going to figure out you needed more to open the vault? Did you really think so little of me? But your ego is too large. Of course, you made the second. And of course, you keep it for yourself. How far you fell, rival. An ice knife appears in his hand. Stepping up, looking down, the golden fleckles of whatever energy is about him. He's older. Up close. He looks up. Before the knife bursts inside his clavicle. And he just looks up and... I never had the second one. As an axe takes off Victor's head. And that is where we are going to end tonight's episode.
You little bitch. Just killed my character.
I did kill your past character.
Oh, that felt good.
Shut the fuck up.
Kill that motherfucker.
Long rest?
Long rest, yes. You will be waking up in the morning with a long rest.
Son of a bitch.
Thank
care
you
about the
all
lore, just-
so much for joining us. What an episode. Lot of role playing. Lot of meat and potatoes.
We'll name this one Lore Drop.
Sure.
No, I like all roads lead to Lamensa.
That is a good one.
That is
You
a
said
good
that.
Well, we will debate that over time. You will all find out before we talk about this.
Hit us up on social media if you have a great name for a title of an episode that we already filmed.
And
Tell us how wrong our titles are.
Criticize our name.
Do you like the name we
process.
picked for this episode?
No?
Too bad.
Where could they criticize us, Britt?
Find us on all the socials at 20 Chronicles.
Until then, thank you all so much for joining us. We can't wait to see you back here. Same time, same place. Have a good night.
We'll all have Oedipal complexes.
Out of here now.